So graphical representations are another way of taking data and presenting that data in sort of a visual format. So graphs are used a lot in research and reporting because they're quick and direct, and they highlight the most important facts. So again, if you are presenting information to an audience, it's an easy visual way of actually presenting that information. So let's go through a couple different chart types and why you potentially use one over the other. So the first one we're going to talk about is bar charts. So we did see an example of a bar chart in the last video when we were looking at cigarette consumption. So bar charts allow the reader to make easy comparisons of data, and the chart illustrates trends in data over the time. So one key point about bar charts in general is that they don't generally touch between the categories. So you might see them as vertical bar charts, so you notice they have gaps in between, and they're showing this relationship. So it's really hard to read our axis titles here, but we do have sort of a visual of what the trend will be. So again, you might see them in vertical format. You might flip the vertical and create what we call a horizontal bar chart. So it's very similar. You can see the idea of the trends, the fluctuation, the ups and downs, but it does create a little bit more room for your category axes along your side when you flip it to a horizontal bar chart. Sometimes you'll see double bar charts, so you not only see a trend along the x-axis, but you have different indicators of what are happening between it. So two or more pieces of information. Just a note that if you have too many series happening, you can get a very cluttered looking graph. If you are looking at double or triple bar charts and things like that, they can get pretty cluttered, so watch that carefully when you're making those interpretations. But again, notice there is no, the bars aren't touching, there are gaps involved within each of the bars as you go through. Another type that we will look at are pie charts or circle charts. And so the whole idea of that is basically showing percentages of a whole. So pie charts are displayed as percentages or fractions of a whole, and are used to compare different parts of a total. The percent of each total should add up to 100%. So when you're looking at a pie chart, it should be representative or proportional to that 100%. So you can think of it sort of as a fractional way of presenting. So we have our percentages around the outside showing how much number of questions on a comprehensive welding exam. So we had 30% in applications, 24% occupational skills. Again, we see that adding up to 100%, representing. You can take a quick visual and just say, already I can see that welding applications makes up the majority of the questions related to the exam. And the third type we're going to see are line charts or graphs. And again, this one's not showing bars, it's actually just showing the trend line associated with the relationship. So again, we've already seen some relationships where we're graphing it with an equation. This is the same type of that you'll see in terms of a line chart. It's indicating patterns or trends over time in general, or over whatever your x-axis is. Again, showing trends rather than just distinct categories with the bar charts.